In this video, I'm going to walk you through an exercise called the Wheel of Life. And this is an exercise intended for you to look at different aspects of your life, determine how much time you spend in each aspect, and how satisfied you are in each aspect. And the idea is at the end, you'll be able to get a snapshot of how you spend your time, how satisfied you are, and what changes you can make to start addressing the balance in how you spend your time across different areas. So if you just want to get to the summary, then you can jump to that part of the video. But I would encourage you to try and watch the whole video so you can understand exactly the kind of questions that you can ask yourself as part of this exercise and the kind of thinking that goes into how you assess each aspect of your life. So this is the Wheel of Life. Now, this is quite an exciting exercise because it's very visual. It gets you out of your head. It's not that burdensome. It's quite fun to do, quite fun to think about. And like I said, it's very visual. You can kind of see how you spread your time. So I'm going to explain how this works. So you can see here that I've got drawn a circle on the notepad here, and I've split the circle up into 8 sections. So I just draw a cross and then a cross going against it like that. I'll explain what these lines are in between each one in a minute. So just make sure you draw a circle and then split it up into 8 sections, kind of like you're slicing a pizza. All right, now, as you can see, I've split my Wheel of Life up into different categories. So you have friends and family, significant other, personal growth, fun and leisure, home environment, career, money, and health. So those are the main categories of my life that I've chosen to focus on in this exercise. So the first task, as you can see on the right, is to draw a line in each segment to signify how much time you spend in each area. Now, this is what I've already done just to save some time, but you can see I've started with my significant other. So it might be your partner, a husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, or it might be a very dear friend. It might be someone you haven't, met in person, but someone you have a relationship with online. It could be anyone who's truly meaningful to you, and you just draw a line as to how much time you spend in that aspect of your life. Now, the closer you are to the edge represents the more time you spend. So it's like a fuller slice of the pie, if you like. And the closer the line is to the center, the least time you spend. So in this case, just for purposes of example, I'm about halfway. So I spend about half my time with this person and the other half on different aspects of my life. Okay. So we move on to personal growth. Personal growth means different things to different people. It might be about emotionally regulating, because that's one of the aspects of my own personal growth for me. Um, it could be just being more confident. It might be just going out more, being more social. So it really depends, and it looks differently. But if you think about what does personal growth mean for me? What are the things that fall under that category? It's like, okay, if you make a list, how much of my time do I really spend or focus on those things? So here I've just put like just over half of my time is spent on things that are for me, which means that the rest of my time is focused on things that I don't really consider as part of my growth. And of course, that's going to happen with events in life in general. The next is fun and leisure. So things that fall outside the routine. It might be things that are spontaneous, kind of games you play or exercises you do or trying something new. Anything that's kind of spontaneous, interesting, adventurous. So here I put, in my case, and I've disappeared. Here I am. Just under half of my time. So half of my time is spent doing that. And so that's something to think about. I kind of want to fill my life with more of what I consider fun. And so you get the idea. So I'm just going to quickly go through now. Home environment. I spent a lot of time in my home. Um, about half of my time focusing purely on my career. And again, money is a very similar level. And my health I consider to be important, but there's still room for improvement. And the friends and family, again, a decent amount of time, but there's probably still more time I could spend. Or you might feel that that is enough. You don't want to spend that much time. This space is for you. So you can already see that you have the outer circle here, which is the diagram, and then these lines that you've drawn to signify how much time you spend in each one. And you can see these lines do not form a circle together. And it shows that in this case, I'm spending very different amounts of time in different things. So I'm spending a lot of my time in my home environment, which means I'm not really traveling a lot or moving a lot. That's something I want to consider. I'm spending little time on focusing on money, how to generate wealth, thinking about my future, what my future self in 10 years will want in terms of wealth, because that's important to think about. I'm not really spending a lot of time focusing on that. Maybe that's something I need to increase. So that's the first step of this exercise. How much time am I spending in each area? Now we're going to go into step two. How satisfied are you in each life area? So this is a scale of 1 to 10. So 10 being you are as satisfied and fulfilled as you can be, and 1 being you are not satisfied at all, and anywhere in between. And as you score each section, think about how you feel as you score each one and look at the wheel. So let's go into this. I'm just going to, and I've disappeared again, but I'm just going to keep talking so you can see what's going on. So significant other, how satisfied am I? I'm going to put a 7. I mean, I'm not, I'm happy. I'm not, kind of miserable or anything like that. But I know that there's still room for improvement. There's different things that I can do. So I'm going to pop that as a 7. Right. So the next one is personal growth. Again, I'm going to keep that as a 7. I'm made improvements over the past few years in this area. So I'm a lot better than I used to be. I used to be a 4, maybe 3. So I'm a lot better, but I know there's still room for improvement. And I think there's no real cap to this number. I think it can just keep going up and up. All right, so next one is fun and leisure. Fun and leisure. How satisfied am I? I'm going to put a 4. Only being because I think I'm spending a lot of my time on personal growth. And actually, I just need to learn how to have fun and introduce a bit of spontaneity in my life. So I'm going to put that at 4. That's somewhere that definitely needs improvement. Next is my home environment. Now, how satisfied am I? I mean, I'm pretty satisfied, so I'm going to give that an 8. But, I would like to travel more. That's something I want to do. But I'm not dissatisfied with my home environment, so I'm going to give that an 8. And my career, I enjoy my career thoroughly. So I'm going to give that, you know what, I'm going to keep it an 8 just because I think I've got room for improvement in terms of developing my experience and skill, undertaking training. There's always things I can improve on. There's always things I can learn from and work on. So, I'm not spending a significant amount of my time on my career, but I'm satisfied. But I know I can definitely and want to work to grow my business more and more. Money. So how satisfied am I? Well, I'm going to give money a 6. I mean, I'm not uncomfortable by any means. Wouldn't say I'm struggling as such, but I would definitely like to earn more. And not just that, but think of ways that I can go into passive income. So rather than exchanging my time for money, which is the kind of model, I think the work of entrepreneurs especially is figuring out how can I deliver a service that kind of delivers itself without me needing to exchange the time. So you get the passive income. So a good example of that is like writing a book. You write a book once, years of work, a lot goes into it, but then you kind of reap rewards over the longer term. So 6, because I'm not unhappy, but there's definitely room for improvement there. In terms of my health, I'd consider myself fairly healthy, but again, I do slip sometimes. I sometimes let emotions get the better of me, especially when it comes to food. So I'm going to give that a 7. I think is reasonable, but definitely I can improve certain things. And the last one, friends and family. So how satisfied am I with that? Well, I'm going to go for a 7 again. I think fairly satisfied, but you know, I have friends who live across different parts of the world. They see them occasionally, but I'd like to be able to spend more time with them. So maybe that would link to me traveling more. So already it's coming together. So as you can see from this example, um, you can see how much time I spend in each area. So that's signified by the line, and how satisfied I am in each area. So the theory is, if, let's take money, that's a good example. I'm spending half, maybe just under half of my time focusing on money and how to make money. But you can see 6 out of 10, I'm satisfied. So that suggests if I spend more time on it, then I can increase that number. Okay. So, how do you feel when you look at the wheel? How do I feel? I think it's a good picture. I don't think there's anything there that's jumping out at me as being quite uh, causing me to be depressed or anxious or sad. Nothing like that. I'm very grateful. I've got a good life, but there's room for improvement. So if I really focus on that, I need to invite more spontaneity in my life. I need to focus on spending more time having fun. I enjoy my work, but I think having fun is different. It's not necessarily the same. You can enjoy the work you're doing, you can enjoy the routine you set up for yourself, but having fun is being adventurous, stepping into the unknown, going out of your comfort zone, trying something new, new things that don't really factor into any of the other aspects of your life. So I'd like to increase my time doing that. I definitely like to increase the time I spend with my loved one, and also think about um, increasing the amount of money I make over the longer term. I think those are probably my core areas I'd like to work on. So the next step is to draw an arrow from where you are to where you want to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw an arrow in terms of how much of my time I want to spend in each area. So the black line represents the time I currently spend. I'm going to draw an arrow to point to where in the slice I want to spend my time. And I'll explain what I mean in a minute. And I'm also going to do a new score in terms of how satisfied I want to be in that area. So let's get into it. I'm going to disappear again, but I'm going to get the arrow here. Here it is. So let's start with significant other. Right, so I'm at a 7. So currently I spend about half my time with them, and I want to be here. I think it's always healthy to have a bit of a break, not to be surrounded by the person you love all the time. You need some time for yourself. But I know that I want to spend quite a bit more time with that person because I enjoy their company. And so I'm going to go to here. And in terms of the score, I'm 7. I'm going to put that to, let's say, 9. I think that's a reasonable number to shoot for. And within that already, what's coming up for me is things that I can try to help increase the satisfaction I have when I'm with that person. So um, the routine I have currently means that I spend about half my time with them. But can I think of different activities that we can do together? Maybe that tie in with fun and leisure. Maybe that allow me to see a different side of this person, or for them to see a different side of me. So already I'm thinking about what I could do, and I'm going to write notes offline, but I'm just going to go through this exercise just so you have an understanding. All right, so next we're going to go to personal growth. Personal growth, let's get the arrow. How much of my time do I want to spend on that? So I'm currently a 7. To be honest with you, I want to go all the way. I want to make it a 10. Uh, Personal growth for me means so much. It's more than just developing yourself. It's more than, for me, just being emotionally intelligent or emotionally aware. Uh, Personal growth is the me being the fulfilled version of me, the person I want to be when I'm 80 years old, looking back at my life, looking back at this moment, looking back at this video about what I was thinking at the time and the drive I had, and was I ambitious enough, and am I really maximizing the opportunity I have to grab life and make the most out of it? And I think, 10's not an unrealistic figure at all. I'm already at a 7. I don't have that far to go yet. It's always a journey of exploration. There's always going to be an unknown. That's the beauty of life. There's always something to learn. There's something to grow in. There's something to improve in. There's a new skill to learn. Break through the limits that you say to yourself in your mind. Break through it. really explore unexplored potential. That's what this section means for me. Let's move on to fun and leisure. This one definitely needs to go up, and I really want to spend a lot of my time doing this. So I'm a four. You know what? Life is fun and games, but I'm not going to shoot for the end. So let's go for a nine. I think that's plenty of fun and leisure that I want to experience. Okay, so I'm essentially doubling the amount of time I'm spending in fun and leisure. So that's quite challenging. Like, if my career is important for me, if spending time with my loved one is important for me, how can I make sure I do that, focus on that, but also do more for myself in terms of having new experiences, inviting my significant other to have those new experiences? Can I incorporate that into my work, into my career, do different things, think outside the box? There's a lot of questions that are coming up for me, and I think ultimately it was going to come down to taking action. But when you ask yourself these questions, this is the foundation of developing what that action could look like. We're going to get to that in a minute. Right, let's work it through. We're going to go to home environment. I enjoy my home environment. I'm pretty happy, but I do want to travel. But I also like the idea of kind of having a home that I can return to. So I'm going to also give that a nine. Career. Now, this one is interesting. I'm just going to get an error. So I spend about half my time on my career. To be honest with you, ideally, I want it to go down. If I'm honest. I want to spend about, let's say if originally I spent about half my time, let's say a third of my time on my career, or a quarter of my time on my career. Yet, I don't want to be quarter satisfied. I want this to be a 10. Is that possible? In the longer term, yes. Because while initially you probably have to do a lot of the work to figure out the challenges and obstacles to you being fulfilled in your career, and you have to do that work, and you have to do the work to set yourself up and make a name for yourself. So if you have a company, doing the marketing, promoting, working in different aspects of the business until you grow the business to a point where you can start to scale back and let the business run itself, manage itself, delegate things to others. Um, think of ways to develop passive income. That's a big one. If you can develop passive income, then what you're essentially doing is you're allowing your income to come in through work that you've already done at one point. That's kind of continuing to serve you. So I want to, in the future, spend less time on my career, so it kind of frees up time for me to spend in fun and games with my significant other, all these things. Yet I want to have even more satisfaction from it. So this is no doubt going to be a challenging area, but I'm excited about the prospect of facing that. Okay, next we're gonna go to money, and I'm sure everyone can probably relate to me. No question. There's only one way this can go. I don't want to go to the end. I don't need to go to the end, to be honest with you. I'm happy with a I'm more than happy with a nine. I think nine's enough. I want to be essentially more than comfortable where I reach the point where I don't think about spending. So I don't have to think, oh, can I afford it or do I need to? I don't need to be rich, but I don't want to second guess every purchase I have. So I want that to go to a nine. And two more left. We're going to go to health. To be honest with you, health, there's really nothing more important than health. So let's do the max for that one. We're going to go to 10. And then friends and family. I'm fairly happy with the balance, but you know what? More is never a bad thing. So let's go for an 8. So I don't have much to do in the way of improving that, but that's it. Okay. So as you can see, the black line represents how I spend my time currently. The red arrow indicates how much more or less time I want to spend in each area. So in my career, I would basically like to ideally work less but earn more. So think about ways to do that. I want to increase the time in my home environment because I enjoy it. It relaxes me, and I think if I do that, I feel a bit more satisfied from it. I definitely want to hugely increase my time that I do in fun and leisure. And I think by doing that, it will make a big improvement to how playful I feel in life, the way I experience joy. I think that will matter a lot. And my health goes without saying, has to always be my priority because that's the ultimate pension, is a good health. Um, Now, the next exercise is to kind of look at this, see what comes up for you, and now your job is to pick two sections that you want to work on. So I'm going to work on fun and leisure, definitely. So what I'm going to do is, I can find it. That is not it. Uh-huh. I'm just going to make that a different color. So I'm going to put that in pink. And so that's one area I want to improve. And the other area, health. I think those are the two I'm going to focus on. So having more fun, doing more leisurely activities, and improving my health. And then for each one, list down 3 actions. So write down 3 actions for each one. So what I'll do, just to quickly pop it down, make that pink to match that. Okay, so 3 actions for fun and leisure. I'm gonna let's see what I can do. Let's have a think. So at the moment, I'm pretty much in a set routine. So I have uh, work I focus on, my client work I focus on. I spend a lot of my time at home, but I'm focusing on kind of emotionally regulating myself, learning more from my career. So I think I spend a lot of my time really thinking about uh, my work and my personal growth. The two do sometimes go in hand in hand. But in terms of fun and leisure, you know what? I want to learn. Let's go back to play an instrument. I've always wanted to play the piano, so that's probably something I can put up with and come up with. Um, Run a race. I used to run quite a bit. Maybe I can take that back up as a way to, uh, you know, break up my routines, a goal to shoot for, because I like aiming for a goal. And also, you know what, water sports. I really enjoy water sports, but I don't really get the opportunity where I live to do that. So I think if I can think of maybe surfing, I did that once and actually really enjoyed it. So can I take up surfing on a more regular basis, even once a month? That's good. Once a month, if I can spell. Okay, next one, health. I'm going to put it up here. Perfect. So for health, what can I do? Quit sugar. I do have a sweet tooth, so I've got to quit sugar. Move more. Um, 10K a day. So I know this sounds like, just trivial, he's just writing stuff down, but really, as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, how can I practically do this? Walking 10K a day for me, I'll need to give myself, how long do I need to give myself? I'd say 2 hours should be more than enough for me. So 2 hours, that means can I wake up at time, do 1 hour, and then do another hour at some point later in the day? I need to think about that. So I need to quit sugar, move more. So 10K a day would be perfect. And in terms of my health, I would say explore a spiritual path. Now, I have different philosophies that I engage with. I have different thoughts that I challenge with. I really do challenge myself a lot of the time. But really putting it within the context of a spiritual theory or spiritual concept may help me to make more sense of it. It may help me to connect to a deeper subject, a deeper meaning that might help anchor me. So that's something I can think about. So I'm going to move my face down so you can see that. So this is the wheel of life. Now I'm going to summarize. I'm going to summarize the wheel of life here. As you can see, This is the wheel, and I've split the wheel up into 8 sections. So there's a cross in the middle and a cross against it, like slicing a pizza. So there's 8 segments. With each segment, and I'm just going to move this out the way so you can see. Yeah, perfect. With each segment, I've categorized them. So significant other, personal growth, fun and leisure, home environment, career, money, health, friends and family. So this is how I've split up my life. The black line here indicates how much of my time I spend in each area of my life. So I spend quite a bit of time in my home environment. So that's a large chunk, but not as much time in fun and leisure, or not as much time I could in terms of focusing on my career. And that's fine. Not saying you have to spend a lot of your time. You may want to spend half your time or even less to do that. So those are the black lines. So the black line represents how much of your time you spend there. The black number represents, on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied you are in each area. So you can see I'm fairly satisfied with my career in terms of being in the career I want to be, in the path I'm on. I'm satisfied in my home environment, but I'm not really satisfied in terms of fun and leisure. That means I don't really do enough in terms of giving myself an opportunity to have fun and do something different. Okay. The red arrow represents how much time you want to spend in each area. So the arrow is dragging the time to where it wants to be. So in this case, my health, currently I spend a good amount of my time focusing on my health, but I want to make it my top priority. Similarly, with fun and leisure, I want to make that my top priority, and I want to make personal growth my top priority. So essentially, I want to spend most of my time in my health, my personal growth, in fun and leisure, in my home environment, focusing on money. These are a lot of things that are important to me with my significant other. Yet, in terms of career, you can see I want to spend less time in my career because ideally, I would like it to run itself. So I would like to be able to kind of focus on passive income. So it kind of links in, even though I'd like to spend less time working to earn money. I'd like to spend less time doing that, but think of ways I can earn passive income so that the money goes from being a 6 satisfied to a 9. So I spend more time making money, yet less time working. So does that mean I have an entrepreneurial mindset? Do I need to think outside the box around this? So I'm setting myself a bit of a challenge with that. And the number in red satisfies the satisfaction level I want. So, for example, with my personal growth, out of 10, I'm a 7. I'm fairly happy with it, but you know what? I want to be a 10. I want to feel great by doing it. Okay, so you get the idea of the exercise. And on the right here, you can see the instructions are kind of broken down. Then the final step is to pick 2 of the segments to focus on. So in this case, I've highlighted them. I'm going to focus on fun and leisure and my health. And write down 3 things you're going to do to address those areas. So as you can see, I spend just under half my time having fun and doing leisurely activities. And I want to make that a lot more of my focus in terms of my time. So I'm learning to play an instrument. That's something I've always wanted to do. Run a race. I did that once. I really enjoyed it. I want to do that again. And I love surfing the one time I tried it. And because I don't live in an area that's close to being able to surf regularly, doing it once a month I think is feasible, and I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to see how it feels. You might try this and that satisfaction number might go down. You never know. But you'll only know by trying it. And health, again, quit sugar, move more, and explore my spiritual aspects of my health as well. The spiritual side, the philosophy, the grounding in something more meaningful. So that was the Wheel of Life. I appreciate you watching. Remember to focus on each aspect one at a time and break it down into the actions that you can take to help move you along in terms of your satisfaction in that area. I hope you found this video helpful, and thanks for watching.